that both of them are doing well. It's winning battles on the boards. It's hanging onto the puck a little bit more. It's with Denisenko. I just feel like earlier in the season and even in training camp, he looked lost on the ice. He didn't really know where to be. And against the Blackhawks, he was skating with purpose.
Well, and one of the things that, and these are your words. You said I didn't notice him, right? When in this early in this, you didn't notice him.
You had to look for him on the ice just to track him.
Now this may be partially that he's playing with Alexander Barkov, and Alexander Barkov elevates everybody around him, but you have to lift your game up to another level to also play with Alexander Barkov, and Denisenko's doing it.
That line needs to be humming at all times.
And he looked good.
Yeah, he did.
He's looked really good, and you can see why everybody's a little bit excited about that kid.
Yeah, you know who I think now Panthers fans maybe can see a comparison into what Denisenko might be?
Who?
Sam Bennett.
Interesting.
What Panthers fans may not realize is Denisenko is a gritty little MFer. He likes to get, he loves to get in the boards. He loves to throw his body around. He's very much like Sam Bennett in that way.
Can he grow a fantastic mustache?
I don't know. You don't really see a lot of Russians with the mustaches anymore.
I still don't know how Sam Bennett's mustache isn't a very successful Twitter account.
That's going to be a whole nother podcast for another day if we're going to talk about Sam Bennett's mustache. But all right, let's chirp. Let's do a little chirping. We good to go, Abel? All right, let's hit it.
Hey, son, you're a disappointment to your parents. What are you doing? Working on my trash talk.
It's time for the Chirp of the Week.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
You can pick the hand I beat the out of you with. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't think so. That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
All right, so we've talked about the injury bug, and I bitched and moaned about it before, and I'm back because it just won't go away, right? Hornquist is out. Drieger is out. Verhaeghe is out. Achari's been out. He's kind of back now. There's other guys that I'm probably not even thinking of that are out. Ekblad, obviously. Hopefully he'll be back in a month or so.
That was more injury monster than injury bug.
Yeah, but so we'll start with Hornquist. Expected to be back on the homestand next week. I mean, honestly, at this point, take your time because we're going to need that dude for the playoffs.
Yes.
But it's surprising to me that he actually hasn't been more nicked up just the way that he plays. So, I don't know. The Hornquist injury, as long as he's back, it doesn't bother me as much. Verhaeghe injury concerns me because it kind of came out of nowhere. The upper body injuries, particularly if they're shoulder, arm area, which is what we believe Verhaeghe's to be, you never know how that recovery is going to go, and you never know if the strength and if the comfort is going to be at the level that it was in Verhaeghe. I mean, he was having a career year.
Yeah.
He was really, him and Barkov, for a couple of guys that you can't really think about like specific chemistry moments. That line, just that whoever was with it, whether it was Duclair, whether it was Vetrano, whoever was on the wing of that line throughout the year, they've just been moving. And like I said before, with the Barkov line, he's been so amazing this year. That line needs to be amazing pretty much every time they're on the ice. They should be amazing every time on the ice. That's what you need to win. That's what makes the Panthers good. So Verhaeghe, I feel like, but getting him back for the postseason when we've been kind of humming along without him is going to be a huge boost.
Well, and not only him, but I mean, you've got it hitting the goaltenders now, right? You've got Chris Drieger dinged up right now. I mean, it is unbelievable that the Florida Panthers were firmly in a playoff position for the entire season, and the hockey gods went, "Hold on a second, I was napping. What's happening?" And then they said, wait, we're going to try to stop this.
The
and
Panthers are where in the standings?
They did their best. They took out Barkov for, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Then they took out Hornquist. Then they took out
Duclair.
Then they took out Ekblad for the season. And the Panthers kept kind of getting through it. Different guys would step up when they needed to. It's just been a pain in the butt to see these guys, and you hope Verhaeghe can come back to full strength. And you know what? I would rather not see him until the Tampa Bay games, which I recognize are only one game away, but nonetheless, I would rather not see him. And I recognize that, again, Q said it's going to be the homestand probably, but I'd rather see him for just the last game of the season.
The Tampa games, I don't think they even start until next Thursday. Because they got Chicago today. They got Dallas at home, I believe, on
Dallas.
Monday.
I forgot about Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is Monday. And then there's like a 3 or 4 days between their next game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would rather see Verhaeghe skip the Dallas game so it's May 3rd, and then and then you're right, it's May 8th is the first Tampa game. I would rather see Verhaeghe even skip that.
Let's see how it is, because look, if he's ready to come back and those games are crucial in Florida and Tampa figuring out who's going to have home ice advantage in that first round.
Sure, and Dallas is going to be fighting for the playoff picture as well. But you know what? It's going to be a Tampa versus Florida series, right?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Mathematically, that is just the most likely probability.
Perfect segue there.
Sure.
Because we're about to go around the pond and talk about the division.
Give me half a second to finish this thought. What I was going to say is with Verhaeghe, if that extra 4 days is going to mean the difference between Verhaeghe at 85% and Verhaeghe at 95%, give him the extra 4 days.
No question. Excellent point, Ian, and now we'll go around the pond.
Lace up your skates. It's time to go around the pond on Chirping the Cats Radio.
All right, so as we were just kind of talking about, we'll start at the top of the division. It looks like the Carolina Hurricanes, are pulling away with that top spot as it sits right now, as we're going into play today. And I think just about every team is playing today. There's like 16 games or 15 games. It's a huge slate today. Carolina's in first place. They have 73 points. They have 6 games remaining, okay? 73 points, 6 games remaining. Florida, second place, 71 points, 4 games remaining. That's the key. And then Tampa, right behind Florida, 70 points. Tampa, just like Carolina, has 6 games remaining. So obviously, Carolina and Tampa are kind of in the driver's seat, which makes those games between Florida and Tampa that much more important because, what Florida's, I wouldn't say home ice has been a huge advantage, only because they've been very good on the road as well.
Right.
But you have to think, versus Tampa, there's going to be more fans.
Yeah.
The BB&T Center is going to be rocking. You want that. They haven't had a playoff game at the BB&T Center since 2016. You want that first game to be a game 1, not a game 3.
No, absolutely. And look, realistically, Carolina's schedule is not very difficult the rest of the way through. They've got Columbus today. They've got 3 games versus Chicago, and then 2 versus Nashville. And the 2 versus Nashville could be meaningful. It depends on how the Stars play through the rest of the way. But nonetheless, for Carolina, it looks more and more like they're going to be first in the division, which I think if you had asked either of us beginning of the season, if you told us they were going to be number 1, we would have laughed.
Yeah. Well,
I would not have said number 1.
I questioned their goaltending a lot more than that's proven me wrong. Alex
Nedeljkovic
has played a big part.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really about, like you said, the home ice advantage. The final 2 games. Look, the answer for the Panthers, unfortunately, right now is not win and it happens. You need to win and also you need to win in regulation versus Tampa. You need to keep winning the last 2 games you've got before the Tampa game.
Chicago and Dallas.
And
if Florida wins out, then they should be good. If they win their final 4 games, because the last 2 are against Tampa, they win those final 4 games, I think they'll be okay.
I think so too.
Maybe even if they go 3-1, as long as the 1 is not Tampa.
Correct. And I think the Tampa wins need to be regulation.
The race for 4th in the division, I'm really excited to see how this plays out. Dallas was my pick at the midway point. They have a good shot. Nashville right now has that 4th spot. They have 56 points and 5 games to go. Dallas is right behind them at 54 points, but they have 1 extra game left. And then Chicago's back there with 50 points and also 6 games just like Dallas. Now, Dallas, all 6 of their remaining games are on the road. And they're at Florida, they're 2 at Tampa, and then they're 2 at Chicago. They have at Nashville today. So they've got a really tough sled ahead of them.
Wow, that is tough.
Yeah.
Nashville doesn't exactly have an easy go either, right? Because they've got Dallas, then they've got what, 2 games?
2 games at Columbus, and then at home to wrap it up, 2 against Carolina.
Right. Those 2 against the Columbus one. Columbus is a sinking ship.
But it'll be fun, right? We have our popcorn ready. We'll be watching that play
absolutely.
out.
Who's your pick? Is it still Dallas?
I'm gonna stick with Dallas. I don't want to change. I'm not gonna waver. I'm gonna stick with Dallas. I'm gonna say they ride it out on the road. Tyler Seguin, hopefully for their sake, will be coming back very, very soon because they've only got the 6 games left. I know he's been getting ready, so we'll see. Either way, it'll be fun. On the other side of the break, Austin Robillard will pop in. He's got his Vice sweater on. It's not a sweatshirt. That's a sweater. And obviously his Man U mask. But Ian and myself are dressed in our Inter Miami gear. So that's what I want to talk to Austin about on the other side of the break. Because, big win on the road last week for Inter Miami CF. Yep, so we're going to hit the break as soon as I read one of these awesome liners, and then you will listen to some commercials. Hey, catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dano hosts the Man of the Match from 3 to 6 p.m. My boy Alex covers everything from football to MMA. So tune into one of the most complete sports shows in the country. Man of the Match with Alex Dano, 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday, exclusively on OnsideRadio.com.
You're listening to Chirping the Cats Radio with David Work. Take Onside Radio, your home for soccer everywhere, with a MyTuner radio app. Find the app at OnsideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At chaseroofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. Chaseroofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust chaseroofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. What do sports radio AM stations sound like to us? The same as they sound to you. South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
These are unprecedented times. Challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
Welcome back to Chirping the Cats Radio. To reach out to David, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Florida Panthers insider David Dwork.
All right, we're back. Chirping the Cats is on the air. We are going to wrap it up with some cross-talk now. Austin Robillard is in the studio, and we got to get right into it, Austin. I know there's a lot going on around the local soccer club. First, let's talk about the positive. What a great win last week in Philadelphia. Come from behind in the second half. The Higuain brothers taking over the town of cheesesteaks. I mean, how great was that?
We had our onside radio party at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and the place was ecstatic when we scored the second goal. I mean, like, it was cool to have the passionate fans there, and nothing I expected. It was a terrible first half, right? And once Philadelphia scored early on in the second half, I was like, oh gosh, this is it. Like, this is what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything great. Maybe a tie, and that was it. Even going into the game, I wasn't expecting 3 points, because when you look at Philadelphia's record last year at Subaru Park,
yeah, Unbeatable.
Lost.
Unbeatable.
Hadn't lost.
Well, and as I heard on that awesome video that you posted last night with Alex Dono's voice at the beginning, they had a shutout streak coming into that game of like 216 minutes.
It was 3 games in a row, 2 games in CONCACAF Champions League, and then the game prior in MLS. They had not conceded a goal. And then again, against Atlanta in the midweek in the CONCACAF Champions League again, did not concede. We are the only team to score on Philadelphia all season.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that what they accomplished. A comeback win like that didn't really happen last year, especially not this early. As you know, we were 0-5 to start the season.
Yep.
Already a better season than last year, and we have 34 games to go throughout. I am so proud of this team and what Phil Neville has done. I can't wait for Sunday.
And Neville's done a great job coming in. One thing about Inter Miami that I've been kind of excited about with this team, they're moving. They're set pieces. There's so much motion compared to last season. At least I feel. Again, I'm not an expert as much as you are, but it just feels like they're more cohesive. Like I don't know if it was something with Diego Alonso and the way that he ran his set pieces. And I'm not just talking about corner kicks. I'm talking about free kicks and all that. But just in 2 games, they're generating so much, and you'd think that it's only going to get better and better, right?
You know what's funny is Franco Panizo of SBI Soccer asked Diego Alonso in a press conference last year about the set pieces because we hadn't scored like halfway through the season. And Diego Alonso was like, you know what? You do the work. Come back in the next press conference and show me why we're not scoring. Because he asked him that. Diego Alonso was like, I don't have an answer, but if you want to show me. And Franco Panizo did this whole long video, I think it was like 30 minutes long, on his YouTube channel, and showed Alonso. Alonso like applauded him for it, and it didn't really help. But but yeah, I mean it's a crazy transition from one coach to another, and you're seeing these set piece goals, and maybe not as many open play goals, but you're still scoring nonetheless, and it's a total turnaround from Alonso to Neville and the system, the cohesiveness of the team. It actually looks like a team.
Yeah.
They're completing passes. You see that there's instructions. They're following them. The game plan is there. Under Alonso, I was like, what the hell are we doing? I don't know what the plan was. But with Neville, it seems like it is a structured and organized team, and I love it.
Yeah, it almost, like, last season it felt like it was a new team. Everybody was kind of like, it's like kindergarten last year. Everybody was running around, having a good time, a little bit of instruction. This year, it's like middle school. Everybody's sitting nicely at their desks. They're doing what they're told. They're listening to their new teacher. And
that's what you were like in middle school?
No. But I wasn't playing soccer. I was playing hockey.
There you go.
But on the other side of that coin, there's lots of positives coming at it, but also this weekend, a tough game coming up in Nashville. And as you were just telling me, perhaps a shorthanded roster coming in.
Maybe no Higuain, maybe no other Higuain, maybe no Pizarro, maybe no Robbie Robinson, and maybe no Julian Carranza. That is
That's our whole front line.
Where's the front line?
Exactly. The only one that would still be standing is Lewis Morgan.
Yeah.
Pizarro's on his way to getting his green card in Mexico. He still has a chance. Everyone still has a chance to play.
Sure.
But Phil Neville was kind of doubtful on everybody. Carranza was dealing with the sickness. Robbie Robinson had a muscle injury, and unfortunately, the passing of the Higuain's mother would possibly rule them out of this game as they spend time with family. So, it could be tough. I put up on my Twitter about like how I think they could line up if all those guys are out. It looks a little crazy, but it's names you might not have seen before. I don't know what they're gonna do, but it'll be interesting if they all are out.
All right, well, let's leave it on this then. Whatever team Inter Miami puts on the field tomorrow, the team that they're going to be facing, Nashville. How good is Nashville? Does Inter Miami have a chance of beating them with a depleted roster?
They're not as strong defensively this season, or they haven't shown to be as strong defensively this season as they were last season, so that's an upside, but you have to take your chances against this team because they still are a defensive front team. That's what they want to do. They're very structured at the back. Walker Zimmerman, Defender of the Year last year. I mean, if you have chances, you have to take them, and that's got to be the game plan, in my opinion.
All right, well, a defensive Nashville against an offensively possibly depleted Inter Miami squad. They're going to have to earn it to get out of the Music City with a couple of points. But, hey, the Panthers did it last week, so Inter Miami can do it this weekend. I want to thank everybody that's been a part of this show today and everybody out there that has been listening. I want to thank Abel on the other side pushing all the right buttons. I want to thank my co-host and my good friend Ian Margol for sitting in with me today. I want to thank my 4-year-old son Tyler for not saying a word throughout this entire show like a good boy, as he's here with me today as well. So once again, thank everybody for listening. We'll be back on the air next week. Coming up next, it's Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard. Everybody out there, be good and stay cool.
When I see police, then we gang low. That's another piece, that's another zone.
Ice in the VVs, now she down to get treachy. I got all this water on me like Fiji. Bitch, I'm posted up with hats and the sleazies.
No wimpy corporate-led radio station here. You're listening to the only station in South Florida that truly gives you a voice. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your On-Side Radio E-Report with Toast.
Congratulations to NRG Esports on landing a huge title sponsor for their Rocket League team, Q, the General Insurance. So, moving forward, the team formerly known as NRG will now be the General NRG. The reason why this deal got done? One Shaquille O'Neal. The big man is both an investor in NRG and the pitchman for the General. Now, let's get Shaq on a controller and see what sort of gaming game he really has. Happy gaming.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the On-Side Radio E-Report. The card is out. The show is on. Soccer fans. Red Card Radio with Austin Robillard is on. To reach out to Austin, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. The text line is 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Lining up for that pressure kick, here's your host, Austin Robillard, with Red Card Radio.
All right, and we are live from Drive Pink Stadium. Another Red Card Radio episode / show here today. Really, really excited. for this one because Inter Miami are coming off a fantastic victory in the city of brotherly love where our brothers, the Higuain brothers, took on Philadelphia and beat them themselves. Not really. It was a team effort, but Federico with the goal and the assist, Gonzalo with the goal from Federico's assist. I mean, what a fantastic comeback victory. I am pumped for this team, man. I mean, the LA Galaxy game was so tough, losing 3-2 in that way, and then you come out, in the first half against Philly with a pretty bad performance, and you turn it around in the second after even going down 1 goal. I mean, fantastic stuff. And then we're gonna deep into that actually, get really deep into that game, and I'll talk about my analysis of it and what I saw and how I think it'll shape up this Nashville game that's coming up on Sunday, which is tomorrow at 1:00. Miami takes on Nashville, and if you don't remember the last time Inter Miami took on Nashville, it's probably because you have selective memory. But it was a pretty tough loss. It was a tough loss in the playoffs. A couple players were out with COVID. You went away to Nashville, and you lose 3-0 in not the greatest fashion. I will say it was probably embarrassing fashion. It was a very bad loss. And, this is not so much a redemption game because you have a lot of new faces. You have a new coach. Everything's changed. But for some of the players that were there in that playoff game, that they're looking forward to this one in Nashville tomorrow. And it's at 1:00. Early game, which I don't mind. I think it's okay. But I don't know what the weather will be like in Nashville. It should be nice. Not as hot as it was down here for the Galaxy game. But with all that said, we have a great show lined up. We're going to get into both of those matchups, very deeply and intently. And there's also a bunch of football going on around the world. This midweek, we had CONCACAF Champions League. We had UEFA Champions League in the semifinals. You have a bunch of MLS games kicking off today. You actually have one kicking off here at Drive Pink Stadium. Montreal is taking on Columbus at 3:00. Might have to stick around the stadium for that one. We'll see what happens. USL is getting ready to kick off, which is fun if you're, a American soccer